little chaotic. We have this brand new bottle shelf, a new tasting bar, new sales. So we're switching things up just a little bit, cleaning up and rearranging. So everything looks a little disheveled right now. It's okay. We don't care. So I do apologize.
Oh, no, this is fine.
Yes, we just, well, we saw that I have pinned so many like whiskey distilleries, you know, on our trip, and I was like, listen, we were going to get through here because it's so far out of where we were headed. And I thought we decided to go back this way, and I thought, oh wait, I wanted to see how far we were from like. I wanted to see how far we were outside of Dallas. Okay. And I'm like, they're just like 40 miles up the road. Yeah. So I'm so happy. So, do you have a public restroom?
I do, right around the corner over here. If you want to use the restroom, I'm actually, y'all can be the first ones to use the new tasting bar. So let me move some things around.
All right.
Well, it's just gonna be him since I got to drive. It's my turn to drive.
Okay.
But
it's your turn to drive.
Yeah. Awesome. Sure.
Right. We are, yeah. So this was actually heading out.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Nice. So.
Oh yeah, you're setting up.
Yeah. Fairly new distillery then? Or?
So no, we will celebrate our 9th anniversary in August.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
This was originally a boat dealership. They unfortunately didn't make it. Jonathan and Robert bought the building in 2013 and started renovation, and by August 2014 they had stills up and running.
Oh wow.
Perfect.
So
cool.
yeah.
So this is all brand new.
This is all brand new.
Cool.
We are the official first one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
So
I love it.
A wonderful gentleman came in from Mississippi. I like it. He drove all the way here because he is not able to find our product in Mississippi. So I drove here to the distillery for a release. He picked up a bunch of barrels where he then turned around and made these beautiful pieces. So these are all Iron Root barrels on the front, those staves. The new sales systems will go over there, have the beautiful Iron Root heads on top.
Oh yeah.
And then this incredible hutch over here.
Is that also, did he make that or have it made for you guys?
He built all of this himself.
Oh, you're kidding.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing wonderful. Picking up an order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Got the staves on the outside.
So yeah, he brought that up from Mississippi this morning. He just dropped it off. So we're rearranging some things to get all of these beautiful new pieces in here.
Cool.
This piece he just...
This piece, this new tasting bar piece right here, and then a new sail. So this will actually all, this side right here is actually
it's just
all
open
about to
in the
ship
back.
down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those are barrel slats.
Those are all barrel staves. These are all Iron Root barrels.
47922.
Adam, I have one Grayson and one Apotheosis.
That is correct.
See if we can see in there.
One of the last Grayson.
Yay me, I think. We'll find out. I'll decide yay me when I taste it.
You never know.
That's fair.
We just say it's not your profile, right?
Who knows? We'll see. We'll find out when we open it up.
Fun time.
What time is it? Maybe a little bit later.
A little bit later.
Not much later.
That's all right.
Depends on how ornery and angry my wife and children are when I get home.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's pretty bottle.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was gonna say, I know I have the apotheosis over there. I am not seeing the Grayson. I was going to offer you a taste of these if you.
I can't buy any Harvard today, right? Since I'm picking up two.
Technically, no. We do have quite a bit of it.
Do you? Okay. You have the Gibby Harbinger?
The Harbinger was, yeah, so that's going to be some of the cash strength ones are going to be up there in that 120 to 130 range.
It was scary good. I gave my neighbor a sip of it. He took a drink and he's just like, and you see him go.
All right, so this is the Apotheosis. This is the one that we just released this past weekend. It comes out at 113.2 proof. If you want, you guys, we can start here on this one, and then we'll go from there. So Apotheosis is going to be all Iron Root bourbon that is then finished in different finishing barrels. Were you wanting to try some too?
No, I'm driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a double finish. The first one is going to be a Pinot de Charente finish. Our Pinot de Charente Apotheosis was our second release, and it was actually just named World's Best Finished Bourbon earlier in the year by World Whiskey Awards. That's the same competition that named us World's Best Bourbon back in 2020. And we've won several World's Best Corn Whiskeys from that same category, or same competition. But then we also did an orange wine finish on it as well. So it's a double finish, Pinot de Charente and orange wine for this Apotheosis.
It's pretty tasty.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. All right, I'm all set. I gotta get to work.
You are good to go.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy. Thank you.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah, that's.
So that's a special edition. We just released that one this past weekend. I think I have a handful of bottles left of this release.
Well, right now, peel one off, put that in reserve, and figure out what the rest
That's what's that special, right? Because I mean, that's what's kind of nice about coming. That's one of the things we find when we do go to distilleries is like you try to find the ones that you just can't get.
Yeah, and this will be a distillery only release, and I can't guarantee that he'll do the same finishes on this.
Gotcha.
We have both of these barrels, but Jonathan he likes to try something new each time. So this might be the only time you'll see the Pinot de Charente with the orange wine.
And Pinot de Charente is a wine?
It is a fortified wine.
Okay.
It's a French aperitif.
Oh, okay.
And
really good.
what they actually do with that Pinot de Charente is they fortify the wine, but then they back blend it and add in some of the actual grape juice to proof it down.
Okay.
So it's got some nice sweetness to it.
They use grape juice to proof it down? That is something we've never heard of before.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I love it.
That's good.
So this Iron Root is considered Texas whiskey?
It is Texas
and
whiskey.
Finished with different...
that is just the Apotheosis
that
is finished. These three of the Iron Root are more of our core lines. You'll see we have two different Harbingers. This is going to be a same profile, just at two different proof ranges.
Okay, all right.
So this one right here is going to be our Harbinger XC. XC is Roman numeral for 90. So this is the 90 proof version, and this is going to feature a variety of our heirloom corn. So you will see our traditional yellow dent corn that we get is grown right over in Sadler. It's milled in Munster for us. From there you will see our purple corn, our red bloody butcher, our magic manna, red flint Floriani, and a few of our other varietals in here. But we look for the barrels that are going to have a lot of that wonderful sweetness, beautiful fruit notes, the classics, the cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, vanilla. But just as a 90 proof, it's a little softer, a little easier drinking, very cocktail friendly. And I will run inside real fast and grab you some water.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes, I have.
Self-serve station, is that what?
Yeah, I did up the water pitchers when we were getting ready to start moving things around, and I forgot to bring them back.
Look at that. How about you as the first taster?
Yeah, that one's really
Is
good.
it? Yeah.
This one's, whichever, I think she poured that
Yep.
one. This one's definitely much lighter, much less viscous. This one had a long aftertaste, long finish.
Pinot de Charentes. Okay, 113.2 proof. Cool.
This one. She said, All three of these were the same except different.
Morning. Not nearly as early as a few of the others. We're running mash today, and we have the still running today. So
nice.
They've been here since about 4 o'clock.
Oh my goodness!
And
yeah,
that's why they're heading home a little early.
See, when you come in early, you get to leave.
Yeah.
Well, after your shift, it's not. I wouldn't say early, but because when you go home, when you get up that early, you're ready to crash.
Oh yes.
You know?
Oh yes.
Definitely. Look at that muscle! Woohoo! You are totally not on film.
They're bringing in some new barrels.
I love it.
Some more display pieces. These are actually some pretty old barrels.
Okay, yeah.
These are actually barrels from 126 and 132.
Oh wow!
So
like from the beginning of time, huh?
Yeah.
This is Jeff just took the heads off one side.
Oh my goodness! Oh, love that. Awesome.
They still smell like whiskey.
They do.
So what's your typical char?
So we do it mostly at char 1 now, but normally has some type of toast pattern in it. So
Oh really?
toast profile, and so these guys are old school ones. These are char 4. We haven't used that in a while.
Oh wow.
I was gonna say it didn't look like a toast, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen actual toast, but
Yeah.
I knew it was.
Most of the time we get them toasted and then char over the top. So they'd still look
okay.
kind of like this, but a lighter
Char
toast.
1 open in the back, 611.
Yeah. And that,
You go back there and look in the barrel room.
Yeah.
a little
Cool.
That'd be perfect.
You guys, this is so awesome.
Down, but I have to flip that one back.
yeah.
bit. They're visiting us from
Yeah,
Indiana.
we're from
Yeah.
Indiana. We came via
Right on the road
Missouri down to Austin, Texas. We have been bourbon collectors for a long time, and we
That's
actually
us.
turned our whiskey habit into a YouTube channel.
Oh, awesome.
So we're and we have a couple of the Iron Root, but
Your original.
the original bottle, and I think we just got this one in the liquor store
Okay.
here.
Yeah, it's the first liquor store we went to. They had them going.
I'm like, that is not the
grabbing
same.
it
That's
while
not
I
the
can
right
find
bottle.
it,
I'm
because
like,
we
that's
don't
not the same. And
And
yeah,
that first one we liked so much, and I kept the bottle just because I wanted to, and I've never seen it again.
yeah,
So
but
when we came down here, I was like, and on the way back, she said, "Hey, I think let's go."
yeah, we've been driving a lot.
Travel from Mississippi.
Oh, that's
This
you?
is the builder.
Are you serious?
This is not because I like to build things. It's because I really like the whiskey.
You love it. Well,
Like,
that's
so how
that's
can
a
I get in
passion.
and be in the favorable since I drive Mississippi. I'm like, just make a box for me and toss bottles in it periodically.
That's so awesome. That's a labor of love. That's a huge fan club. I mean, that's amazing. So
And I absolutely love bourbon. And I was telling him, I said, no BS. I've had everything from, Pappy's all the way down.
oh yeah.
And by far still, I mean, Harbinger's my go-to.
Oh, that's great.
The guys in Mississippi is about 45 now. I've gotten exposed to it. And they argue over Grayson versus Harbinger versus Hubris versus Terror. They kind of argue back and forth, but they all still say the nice thing is all the Kentucky distilleries we've all been to. We've been through the Kentucky distillery tours and stuff. The majority of them will have 1 or 2 really good products.
Yeah.
And the rest you're kind of like, they're okay.
Yeah.
We've yet to find something they've made.
Yeah,
It's been like,
Okay, well, how did you first get a hold of drinking Iron Root? Did you get it in Mississippi or?
No, long story short, I came looking for 2 whiskey barrels for a friend's daughter and her fiance to make them a Christmas present.
Oh, okay.
I live in Mississippi, used to live in Oklahoma. Didn't want to drive to the coast 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Expand the search. There's a place here in Denison where this wood comes from.
Okay.
So got my barrels and wood from there. Looked up good places to drink bourbon.
Oh, of course.
And it gave me the 1896 Ice House, and it said the Iron Root Distillery. And I went, hey. So pulled up, was blown away. Robert said, hey, do you have any use for barrel staves? And I went, I don't have any room, but sure.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I knocked rings off to the 4 barrel staves. When I got to leave, I was like, it's really nice of them.
Yeah.
So I got home and I found them on Instagram and said, hey, I do stuff as a hobby, build stuff as a hobby. I'd love to build you a piece just to give to you for your kindness.
Yeah.
And of course, then it turned into, well, when you come back, we want to sit and talk. And I said, hey.
Well, I mean,
So this is my 3rd trip. And I just, like I said, absolutely, hopefully there's going to be more of this in the
Yeah.
next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff. So
I love that. We love the smaller guys. I mean, because like you said, the big guys are the big guys, right? I mean, and some of our favorites are not the big guys. I mean, like with you. So.
And like I said, it's just I can honestly say every one of the whiskeys and bourbons,
Yeah.
none of them are just like a filler, like, oh, well, they just need something to put on. No,
Yeah.
every one of them has been just.
That's awesome.
Yes, you got your favorite, but.
Oh yeah. Whoops, sorry. Yeah,
So
I'm done.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is our head distiller, our head blender.
Gotcha.
He's the oldest of the 2 Likarish brothers.
Oh, so your brothers even.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we've got mom and dad involved in it too.
Nice.
Cousin Alex just left.
Yeah,
So,
Alex that was staying by.
there's,
Yep.
So how did all this start?
oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Good
Who
grief.
tells
Huh?
it better?
It's his story. I'm gonna let him tell it.
Well, we were on very different paths for our life a while back. So Robert he was going to go to business school, wanted to go to law school. I'm an engineer by trade.
Did you happen to go to Purdue?
No, I did Texas Tech, but up in Missouri. We went to St. Louis University.
Okay.
Both Robert and I. I did engineering up there. He did law school up there.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
so-
downtown St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I did a touch of study at Wash U there too. So before I ended up down here, and but long before that we had wandered into a distillery up in Spokane, Washington, called Dry Fly. And,
Oh yes, we like their dry flies. They're Triticale. Oh yeah.
And so that was actually our first kind of distillery experience, and we wandered in there by accident because we're at their old location. They used to be next to a Thai food restaurant.
Oh.
And so we were up there visiting some family, and we were going out to eat, and we wandered in there. And my family's been in the copper industry for a while, and so we saw copper, and we got excited. Shiny things make us happy.
Yeah.
And so we asked, how do we have to get one of those? And they said, you have to start a distillery. And we saw the big old pot stills, right? So we got excited, and we said, hey, we definitely need some of those pot stills. And so at that point in time, Robert and I made a pact that we were going to start a distillery when we retired.
When you retire.
So you fast forward a couple of years. Let's see, it was Christmas dinner is when Robert decided to tell us that he did not want to be a lawyer.
Oh, good grief.
He only had one semester left of law school at the time, so we made him graduate.
Oh, that's good.
But my dad had jokingly said during that dinner, he said, well, "What are you going to do? Go start that distillery now?" And Robert didn't take that as a joke.
Yeah.
And so Robert, at that point, started really looking into what it was going to take to start a distillery. But I kind of looked at my wife, and I had a small daughter, and I said, like 6 months old, and said, I don't want to be stuck in a cubicle if you're going to go have fun making whiskey. And so at that point, we decided to fast track retirement. And
do your passion, or well, I mean, if it was passion or not, but maybe that into like working for yourself for sure. You know, obviously. You know, I have an accounting degree, I went to Purdue, you went to IU, but I mean, I don't know, whiskey to us, we just like bourbon whiskey, and then we ended up you just keep getting more and more and more, and then ultimately it's meeting people, you know, and connecting, and you know, from the business aspect, I mean, it blows me away, the people who are gutsy enough to do it, to be quite honest.
well, I like the whiskey people. The community is one of the most interesting communities you've ever seen. So I always call
We keep hearing that from everyone we talk to in the business. It's like everyone is friends.
Yeah.
They always say the marketing people, they compete against each other, but the people in the we're all friends and we all help each other.
Yep, yeah, that's pretty true.
Yeah.
We've got friends and distilleries all over the place now.
Yeah.
So
You're
everybody's-
young guys too.
Yeah, I just turned 40 this year.
Oh my God,
So-
you're really
so-
We were over 50 at this point, but oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I'm so happy that we just kind of stopped by and just peeked in. So, I mean, you know, happenstance. I mean, we wanted to come see you guys, but we didn't think you were going to be clear out of our reach, but we took a different path home. So now so far we've tried it.
Have you been past the front doors yet?
No. We got one drink in.
I love it.
Do we need
And then-
another drink before we go back, or do you
I'm
want to?
driving, so
She's driving, but no, we'll follow you. We can always come back as long as she doesn't sell the last one of these, because the first one I liked, the first one I tried I liked. So
Oh, well, that's
way to go.
that's one to start with for sure.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, I love the smell.
So right now we actually are
Oh, yeah.
distilling, and we are mashing currently.
Yep, I can see it.
So yeah.
You gotta take the phone. Oh. So which? Okay. Well, I'll let you tell me.
This is the one that runs most of the time.
Okay.
So this is kind of the pride and joy. We call this guy Jim Bowie. So he was born in Kentucky. We hope he dies in Texas. Is what we always tell everybody.
Now, did this come from a distiller, or was it made for you?
It's made for us, even though it looks very old.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So this one was custom made to go in this building by our design. We work with the folks over at Vendome Copper and Brass out of Kentucky. They make a lot of the big guy stills. And so we told them we wanted a traditional Scottish style pot still. We kind of gave them a good idea of what we wanted, and the way you decide that is you drink a bunch of scotch, and then you look at pictures that scotch was the stills that it was made on, and then you can tell that you actually like a still shape. You can
feel it.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever been in front of one that was actually running, and you could feel the heat coming off it.
So this is actually it's on a stripping run right now. So that's the first distillation out of the two distillations we're going to do with it. So what's coming off right now is low wines. It's not really something you want to drink. It doesn't taste good anyway. Not yet. So we'll do the subsequent spirit run on it, kind of the final run on it. And that's when there's the things that you want to taste off of it. Otherwise, I'd let you guys taste it.
Oh, no. We understand.
You don't want to kill us, right?
No.
Gotcha. So what kind of engineering did you get into?
I did industrial engineering, biomedical engineering, and half mechanical engineering.
Okay.
So you're perfect for this.
Yeah, ironically enough.
Yeah, so Stephanie did the biochemistry for the tasting part, or you just learned that on the job?
I actually did everything for pre-med when I was doing my industrial engineering, because I thought I wanted to go into doing surgery type things.
Okay.
And that's when I realized I actually preferred more on the engineering side to go back into biomedical engineering.
Well, how did you guys get into St. Louis then? Is that where you're from?
My dad actually moved up there for work.
Okay.
When I was in college, I went to Texas Tech in Texas, and so when I was in school, he moved up there. Well, he and my mother up to Illinois, and just across the river from St. Louis, and they recommended there's some pretty good schools up here.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we'll look into those, and it was a fantastic school.
Yeah, so. a fantastic city too. I mean, it can be, in general, it's great.
This is actually mashing in bourbon today. So you can kind of see the cold.
Oh yeah.
Swirling around. The little red flecks, that's actually going to be some bloody butcher corn in the middle of the yellow dent corn.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can see the steam coming out.
So that's at cook. So it's at boiling temperature right now, and it's got another 22 minutes left. So. Then after that, we're going to cool it down. That's always the hard part in Texas, right?
So when you cool it down, is there a coil inside that you cool with water, or how do you cool it?
This guy, he's a double wall tank.
Okay.
So this top section here is kind of the pretty section. That's all the cooling jacket right there. The bottom part of it, kind of the bowl, that's where the steam jacket is. So it's a much, we can heat it down there and then cool it down up here. So it does take a while to cool it back down though.
So how long is your cool down?
It normally takes about 3 hours to get it back down.
So is that something you have to have somebody here at the distillery to always have a certain way? So it's in a certain spot.
And we try to get these guys to shut down at the same time. Unfortunately today, this morning, they're doing some work on the city with lines, and so they actually shut the water off randomly on us and didn't realize it, and so we're running a little behind today.
And then we came in and we did the whole entire day up.
Oh no,
I love it. I love it.
It's working without me having to do anything at the moment.
You're just babysitting at this point, right? Oh, gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah, our background before we did all of this was in manufacturing software. Mm-hmm. So we'd go to a lot of manufacturing shops, machine shops, CNCs, and we loved seeing how things were made. So we always loved the behind the scenes stuff, because that's our back. We want to know how things are made. And then we got to here, and it's like, well, why'd you start? How'd you start? And I'm glad you started. So what's this baby?
So this guy is our other still. He doesn't get used quite as often as this one. This one's kind of the workhorse over here. And part of the reason being is this is the one that primarily makes bourbon for us.
Okay.
Over here, and then this one has a lot of other capabilities. It can make the bourbon. He's a little bit smaller, so this is a 1,200 gallon pot still over here, and this is about a 500 gallon pot still. So we can make a lot more on that guy if we're running him. But what this guy can do is we can engage these columns and we can drive the proof up high. So this one we can actually make vodka on.
Engines.
If we don't make rum, if I wanted to make a higher proof rum, we can make rum over here. We've run brandy on this side before. We make our own base for our own gin on this guy. Now he can make light whiskey over here.
Okay.
And so we have made a little bit of light whiskey.
Well, learning about light whiskey, I mean, with all the things we've been through, I mean, that we tour, we just recently started hearing about it, and I don't know, is it a Texas thing?
No. It's
light whiskey's been used for a long time, normally as a blending component into things.
And maybe they've just always had, we just never really picked up on that terminology, because I mean, we hear everything else, but...
You started hearing about it more recently because there was a lot of it was the 14-year-old MGP's light whiskey that was coming out.
That's what,
really good.
Yep, and that's probably what we're talking about. We've listened to several podcasts that probably mentioned that, so... Anyway, I digress. That's so cool.
So we've got this guy. This, of course, is bottling line over here. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, we're going to add some more warehousing and a dry goods storage space, and then this guy hopefully will move out over there.
Now, is this your main or only building?
This is our main building right here.
Okay.
So this is the production area. We're going to go in the back in a second and see where the barrels are. But this used to be a boat dealership.
Yeah, she was telling us that. And unfortunately, they had to leave so that you can move in.
Yeah, I like to think they built it for us.
Yeah,
we just didn't know it.
So how many barrels do you typically produce, or what's your typical batch?
Right now, in about a year, we're doing about 400 barrels.
Okay.
Is what we can do. We recently kind of increased the speed at which we're producing, because really the bottleneck for us is storage space right now, and that's why the first thing we're going to add in is going to be another warehouse. And so we're going to do that on site. When they had a boat dealership, they put in 3 or 4 acres of concrete. And so we've got a lot of space outside. We just don't have it inside right now. So this used to be the bar. We used to run a cocktail lounge out of here pre-COVID, and so the bottling machine wasn't there. And basically that was all cocktail lounge over there. And so on Friday nights we would shut down the still at about 5 o'clock, clean real fast, and then switch over and put on our bartender hats and start making drinks over here.
This is cool. I mean, very cool. So you don't use this anymore?
No.
Oh, it's a shame.
Well, and there's no cocktail place for people to sit anymore. So eventually, the reason we glassed in that front patio area was so that we'd have a place to put a cocktail.
Okay.
Eventually, once we get some more storage space, we don't have to have some bottles and barrels up there. What we'll end up doing is having more space for it.
I like what it says. This is not water.
That's very important. So this is our glass still over here.
I noticed that over there. It's
different flavorings for the gin.
Oop, did you get that?
What we do is we take our vodka and a higher proof, we infuse things into it, and then redistill. And so that's what these are over here, and that's why it says this is not water, is because these are 170 proof flavors that go into gin. And so that sign got put up there when we had a little old lady wandering over here looking for a cup for the water.
Oh my gosh.
So juniper, pecan, coriander. Hey, honey, coriander. You know what that's also called?
Cilantro. It's okay. That's the leaves.
The leaves. It's soap. I've got that mutated gene.
Yeah, he does the gene. Oh my god, you're so nerdy when you do that. I love it.
Aww. And the Rickhouse dog.
Hi, baby.
Or distillery dog. You need a Rickhouse cat.
So that's Robert's dog, Rosie. The ones that are here all the time are the Doodles, right over here.
Aww.
Oh my gosh. Hi, babies.
So that is Charlie and Cooper. So we call them Char and Cooper.
Oh my gosh. That's what I kept telling my husband. I said, we need a dog, but what will we call him? See, we're photographers as well, so it's like bokeh is one thing, ISO, aperture would be kind of a weird name, so let's go with whiskey names.
Well, that's not bad.
Oh, the barrels.
So we're starting to get a little tight back here, as you can tell.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Is these your wine casks?
Yeah, so there's a product
They're
called
huge.
Icarus. And so Icarus actually uses port casks and then peated casks, so from Iowa. And so what we do is we make corn whiskey, and then we finish it, some in the port barrel, some in the peated barrel, and then we bring it all back together. And I like to say it tastes like snooty barbecue at that point.
Yeah.
It'll smoke, a little bit of sweetness and nuttiness from the port, and get the corn whiskey base. So we've got that. Majority of what's back here is going to be bourbon.
Okay.
So we used to use this typical size barrel, which is a 53-gallon barrel. And so that's my daughter's barrel, Danica. That's actually the first barrel ever.
Really? Number one?
Number one. And And so we happened to lay that down on her 3rd birthday.
Oh,
and so she got her name on it. And then my son Granger came along a little bit after that. So he got Lucky Barrel 104.
That's great.
Because that happened to be what was going on at that point in time.
Oh.
Now, did you, when you were in college, was Still 630 around downtown?
No, but I have been there.
Okay, yeah, we were there in the old hard days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you guys. I had no idea. I mean, it's just what's so fun about coming in here. Yeah, we always, you see distiller, you see the, anyway, column stills, good Lord, blah, blah, blah. And you just see how this stuff is laid up. But it's the connection and it's the story, how you guys, came about. But you didn't tell us how did your logo come about? I mean,
the logo. So Iron Root actually has to do with the history of Denison.
Okay.
So in the late 1800s, there was a gentleman here by the name of T.V. Bunsen, and what he was doing was he wanted to create a grape paradise. And so what he was doing was he was grafting European grapes onto Texas rootstock because the European grapes wouldn't grow here. They knew they were superior for making wine than the native grapes here. But we have some diseases here that they didn't have over in Europe. So one of those is called phylloxera. And so about this same time frame that he was doing all his kind of grafting over here in Texas, I guess the steam engine had been recently invented, and so the disease, phylloxera, actually got transported back over to Europe, and it was actually decimating the grapes over, specifically in Cognac, France areas where it was hit kind of hardest, and they actually lost about 80% of their grapes. So they came to the U.S. and said, "Hey, do you have any idea how to deal with this? This is kind of your disease." So And so they kind of led him to T.V. Bunsen, and he started sending rootstock from Texas over to France, and so he's credited with helping save the French wine industry.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
So
he saved the French wine industry that he they nearly destroyed.
But supposedly it was a gentleman from Missouri that actually sent it over there by accident.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
Yep.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
But that's why we call it Iron Root.
Yeah, that's cool.
Question about the rick house. Is it? I see the heaters. Is it temperatured or?
We don't kick those on unless we have to.
Okay.
So if it was going to freeze back here, so we've got a wet sprinkler system,
okay.
and so they'll get kicked on briefly if that was the case. Okay. But even when we had that really long freeze in Texas, it never really got much below
freeze
here.
Yeah.
So you're not heating; you're just heating it so the pipes don't freeze.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so those heaters are remnants from when this was the place where they used to repair boats.
Okay. I
that's
can see
what
that.
from.
So how cold does it actually ever really get in Texas?
I mean,
right here.
it can get in negative degree temperatures. Okay. It's just in this room with the insulation they have in here, it didn't get that cold.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Which is nice.
Yeah. That's good because so you do get some cold temperatures then to get that in and out.
Yeah, and I like having the doors in here because we'll open up the doors. We can let it breathe through here, and the convective flow does a lot for the aging as well. We don't try to cycle or temperature control anything. We're not trying to mimic Kentucky's environment or anything like that. Because
embrace Texas.
Going to do and see what it's supposed to taste like from here, right?
So how many barrels do you have, and how many capacity do you have? You said you're growing.
If we completely jam-pack this room, we should be able to get about 850 barrels in here. So obviously we've got barrels up in the thousands here now.
Yeah, we saw the 100 when I hear.
Yes. And you'll still see a handful of them around here, the 100 series that we've held on to. Right now there's probably about 600 barrels that are full. But it's a little bit of a skewed kind of sensation as far as how much liquid that is, just because these guys are 53-gallon barrels.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, actually about 4 years ago now, we started using what we call 65-gallon barrels, which are these guys right here.
I thought they looked big, but...
So they fit in the same rack, so about the same footprint, but they're actually a lot more whiskey in there.
Now, what was your reasoning for doing that?
Part of it is because of the way things age in Texas. So when we start talking about how things age in a barrel, there's a couple things we're concerned about. One of them is going to be extraction. That's how fast it's pulling things in and out of the wood and pulling things into the liquid. That happens really fast in Texas.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
So, and the way we measure,
because you guys go in streams on your cycles of we go hot quick and we go cold quick.
Yeah, it's the 30-degree shift is nothing. That's weekly and probably a couple times a week we'll shift like that, no problem. We have very big barometric pressure switches in this part of Texas. We've got Lake Texoma, which is the largest lake in the state, is right next to us. There's a couple of reservoirs that are larger, but it's huge. There's like regattas on it.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's probably cool.
Yeah. So we have actually our own kind of like microclimate here at Iron Root. So
that's neat. So how? I mean, what's like your oldest whiskey, and what is your plan to make?
That one, Danica.
Well,
so there's stuff in there.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we're going to do.
The typical, you guys, you know.
So these guys are actually going to probably get mixed together. So when Danica's barrel turns 10 in a year and a half.
Yeah. Nice.
What we'll do, or 2 years now. So, but what we'll end up doing with it is it'll be we'll mix those two together. And my wife and I did this by accident. When we named the kids, if you take the first part of Danica's name and the last part of Granger's name, they call themselves Team Danger.
Danger.
And so there will be some sort of Team Danger close.
Very cool. Very clever.
Danger
like
zone
that.
release, something along those lines for them.
How far are they apart from age?
4 years.
They're 4 years old. I mean, 4 years apart from. Oh, that's cute.
Yep. So
That's
we've
cute.
got that.
Awesome.
And let's see.
Very cool. Very cool. Boy, did we strike it lucky or what? Just kind of.
It's all timing.
We needed to stretch our legs. I mean, it's like we cannot possibly go through our whiskey trek all the way through and back home, and then not stop when we were like 40.
When we're this close, yeah.
So excited. So
I'm glad we changed our route this morning.
Yeah.
Were you guys going up 35 on your way over?
I don't. We were kind of got ahead. I don't. We came down 35, and we're thinking about going back up the same way because we came back started through Missouri down because we stopped at Ben Holiday first, and so on so forth down the road. And I thought, I'm actually where I'm headed is back to a place where I buy my plant and vegetable and flower seeds in Missouri. So I thought, well, if we go up this way, it's kind of trying to angle up towards St. Louis.
Yeah.
So
I've done that around a couple times.
I bet you have. So it's like, good Lord, yeah. It's been fun flying the 75 miles. Okay, 75 miles an hour on the high interstate.
Yeah, we do like that aspect of it.
Yeah, we don't have that. 65 for us. For the rest of the and you guys drive 85, 90.
Yeah. Well, it'll be posted 75, but they'll still drive 90.
Yeah. It was like, okay, you guys can pass. That's okay.
I mean, in Texas, if you aren't driving that fast, it takes a very long time to get anywhere. So,
there's a lot of land to cover.
Right here, the St. Sally.
So St. Sally is another brand that we do. That's our kind of blending side of the business. So the stuff that says Iron Root on it, the Harbinger, Promethean, that's all 100% made in-house here. This is actually a blend of bourbon, so we get some from Indiana. We mix it with some of ours, and then we put it in different finishing casks. So we've got, in the back room back in there, we've got a ton of different, there's a ton of different casks back there. So. And this is kind of more of where we do the finishing on the Iron Root side for apotheosis in here. And then back here, we've got a lot of the finishing barrels for the St. Sally.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
So
the special, it really smells good in here.
Like it's all over.
All sorts of smells. So this is like Tokai wine cask that we use with rye. So the only rye we put out is under the St. Sally line. So it uses a little bit of the rye that we've made. We've never released any of our own other than that. Mixed with some MGP rye, and then we finish with the Tokai cask, which is a noble rot wine out of Hungary.
MGP rye is in the Sagamore.
Where'd you say that was out of?
Tokai.
The Tokai out of Hungary. It sounds like
Hungary.
Japanese.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So I think you were thinking that.
There is a Tokai that is a Japanese whiskey as well. It's spelled very similar, but it's This is this is kind of like their version of Sautern's wine.
Okay.
Is what it's pretty much what it is. It's super sweet and it's kind of funky. The sweeter it gets.
Yeah. So. Neat. Very neat. Very neat. Yeah.
And then we've got Armagnac casks and Pinot de Charente casks over here, and these are actually agricole rum casks that we have.
Oh yeah, I thought I said rum. Now, why are these barrels striped?
Those I don't know why they actually look like this, unless they were sanding down those guys. So
that's a dumb question. I don't know why I just thought about it because everything else is being finished in these other random types of spirits. Do they ever finish anything in tequila barrels?
Yes.
Okay.
We have not done that.
Okay, I'm just not coming across that.
There's some people in Texas that are doing some stuff in tequila barrels and mezcal barrels, and they're.
Well, I can see mezcal because of the smokiness of that, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I can imagine. Looking forward. That's so cool.
Do you use the small barrels for much?
Not really. So we played with those as experimental stuff early on. Those are from our friends down in Waco, so Balcones.
Oh.
So when they were much younger, they used to do things in very small barrels. And so they were the perfect cask if we wanted to try something out.
Yep, that sounds like are still 360 in St. Louis.
I feel like that's the first time we ever saw it though, with the little, the little barrels, right?
And that's what everybody thought was the best thing to use in Texas originally, because they, extracted extremely fast, and you could have stuff that was, 6-month-old whiskey that looked like it was 7-8-year-old Kentucky stuff if you use those tiny barrels. Normally didn't mature the same way. So the other kind of thing, just extraction, but all the different chemical reactions have to happen for maturation to happen. Those don't get sped up in Texas, and so that's.
Yeah, he's always kind of wondered about that. We throw up a little bit of, like, what is it, new riff, new make in our little Buffalo Trace barrel. Yeah. And we were like, wow, this stuff's hot. But it was just, it was a fun gimmicky thing. We got to do it, right? I'm trying to think if that's, that little barrel when we first saw it, still 630. But
no, they're a little bit bigger than the one we have. Yeah, they're like what are those? Like 35. That's what we have. But the ones they use are the 35 gallons or whatever.
So those are 10 or 15 gallons right there. A 30-gallon barrel is more like this one. Right there.
Gotcha. Very cool. So are you guys older than Balcones?
No. They're much older than we are. Yeah. So let's see. They're doing their 15th anniversary, I think, this year, and our 10th anniversary is going to be not this November, but the following November.
Okay.
Very cool.
So, no, we used to back in the day. It was Balcones and Garrison Brothers were the two that were kind of started up. And so we actually got to go down there and kind of see what was going on in Texas early on, because there was a couple examples for us. And they're actually the ones, Balcones was the ones who told us, they're like, don't get into the small barrels, we're already going to have to move into the bigger barrels. And it's kind of funny because kind of both of us independently actually went to larger barrels than 53s, just kind of from everybody understanding what needs to happen to the whiskey.
Sure.
And so you typically see most places in Texas will keep getting bigger barrels. Some will stop at the 53-gallon size, and then I think Balcones even has like 120-gallon barrels or something like that somewhere.
Well, we didn't get a tour with them, so it was a much better tour, I'm going to tell you right now. Well, again, we just like when you freeform travel like this, we're like, okay, when do we want to go and can we?
We didn't know when we were going to be there, so we didn't know when to book. So it's luck of the draw on that one.
It is,
but we got a good luck of the draw today.
We sure did. We sure did. A nice start for LA. So I thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Yeah, well, like I said, we love the behind the scenes stuff. It's the history. It's the reason why. It's
the baby's out.
Oh, did you guys get a chance to meet Robert yet?
No.
No.
Hiding.
Hello.
That's my mother. So she's known as the mother of Texas whiskey.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Wow, and the grandma of the babies, huh?
Oh, these are the dudes. Or the distillery dudes.
Oh yeah, that's how they are.
Hi guys.
Hello.
This is the
I walked by.
younger brother.
I'm Dawn, the
Nice to meet you,
younger
Dawn.
brother.
Younger brother.
Oh, so which is what, 2 years later?
4?
So we're 4 years younger, you guys. Cabell must be twins.
I've aged a lot faster than what you just said.
It's the stress.
The stress.
Just busy, man. That blows me away.
Hi.
Oh, everybody's loose right now.
You know what?
Hi, dear.
Dogs in our house, cats in my
Yeah. When they're there.
Yeah. We were just traveling through, because we are from northern Indiana.
Oh, fantastic.
Northern area. And we have way too many bottles of whiskey and whiskeys in our collection, and so we turned our vacations and stuff like that into a YouTube channel. So we're really trying to grow our channel, but more than anything, this is how we vacation.
This is how we vacation.
So now we do that. But we just happened to stop through on the way back from Austin, Texas. We were all down to our ultimate was. We thought our ultimate last stop was Crowder Barrel.
There you
Rex
go.
And Daniel.
Did you get to meet them?
Yeah, met Rex and Brianna. Oh my God, they're just as goofy as they are on the YouTube channel. And but this is I feel like a highlight of the trip, to be quite honest with you guys.
Oh yeah, by far.
It's just nice to meet you. But young entrepreneurs and whiskey.
Youngish.
Youngish.
Yeah, well, we're over our 50s. Like I'm 50.
Something like that.
Yeah, so.
We'll stop at that. 50.
Yeah. So. Good job.
Well, glad
continue success.
you were the one who had the first idea, right? Dream.
So this is the lawyer that never was.
I conned everybody else into it.
I'm building this place. I'm there.
Unfortunately, I use it almost every week.
Yeah. So then, you guys this is like your wheelhouse of things, and but the marketing, the graphics, and just stuff like that just what blows me away. You gotta wear that hat today.
Yep.
But you do,
Maybe
right?
at the St. Sally one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We try not to wear like Iron Root and Iron Root at the same time like this.
Yeah.
I try to switch it up.
Yeah.
That way I can do both at the same time. I like to multitask.
He's repping everything, really.
Yeah. But I mean, it's again, we were talking to the guy at Proud of Barrel yesterday, and we just got done watching one of the YouTube channels or episodes. They were looking for a social media guy,
And they were interviewing.
And they're like, hey, Rex, the guy's here for an interview. We're like, is that the social media maven? We're like, oh my god, we sound like such groupies. That's cool. So
now, what are the roles that you guys have here?
So Jonathan is the head distiller, head blender. I can't call him master. It's I feel bad as a brother. I don't know. It's something about that.
There's definitely kind of training to be head versus a master.
So technically, like there is no actual definition of what a master distiller or master blender is. Pretty much, it's when other people start calling you that, then it happens. But
usually you're older than I am. So,
you need if you haven't been doing it at least like 6 to 8 years, then it's kind of a really I don't know.
That brother thing, be calling him master. I'm with you on that.
I can't do that. But he's the production head here. He does all the. So I'm more of support on production. We do a lot of the blending and tasting together. He heads it all up and then asks me what I think and give him my opinion on it. So if he doesn't like it, then he just ignores me. So
basically, I take it from the grain until it gets in the bottle. And then it's his problem. So once it gets to there,
spreadsheets and the distribution and blah blah blah.
Trying to get it in all the stores and all the fun things and
marketing, sales, whatnot. That's his thing.
What's the gal's name out here?
Ashley.
Is that her name? Yeah. I don't think we've asked, but really, we got an Iron Root in Northern Indiana. We just don't. She said it was Total Wine where you guys have it.
Total Wine. I think Indianapolis, I know, has some Total Wines that you might be able to find some stuff in.
Yeah, because the bottle I got was a long time. It was your old flat bottle.
One?
Yeah. And then I really liked it, and I saved it. I couldn't find it. Then we came down here, and the first liquor store they had, and I bought one. So I said, just in case we don't see another one.
Yeah. We just sent it out about 2 weeks ago, so if it wasn't on shelf, I'd be very upset right now. So good, excellent. It made it so it finally got there.
That's awesome. For sure. But we just. It's fun. I know. Can't say enough about it. We can't say enough definitely about you guys.
Thank you so much.
It just feels a love from us. I don't know.
I know as I said, I love this more than anything. Like again, it's not like I was here 4 a.m. starting the stills, pumping stuff out and doing stuff, and like if you don't love it, you can't work 12-hour or 16-hour days if you don't love what you're doing.
But you were really young to have that vision. Oh, there.
There you go. What's up, man? So Emma's one of our new distillers. So she came to us via a lot of other distillery, Garrison Brothers, everywhere.
Nice. Girl power. Yeah, mixed in the middle of that. Yeah. But you were like I said, you were younger when you had your vision of wanting to do this. So I mean, had you already been a huge whiskey bourbon at that point?
Nothing compared to what I am now, but. I'd always really loved drinking spirits straight or I from very college age loved Armagnac, loved cognac. As my dad, I'd go with him to wine tastings, but like I like and enjoy wine, but it wasn't really my thing. And so the guy that was running it would always take me and my dad in the back, and we'd start pouring us Armagnac and cognac. So that's where I fell in love with those, and then. Kind of off the races from there. So
cool. Well, glad you had that vision and that desire. And
we'll get out of you guys here. I think it's working. So
no, you're good.
We're gonna get some.
Good. It's that.
For everybody to work, right? Well, we're gonna get out of your hair. We're gonna try tasting more. I know you guys trying to do production, so
get there, have some fun.
Have some fun.
Got out.
You can get room for you. Come home with me. You want to go home? We have to come up with
might not go over so well with her mom.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got everybody out.
Oh, another one.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Take care of the babies.
Come on.
Cooper, 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 go back. Oh, they're loading up.
Yeah, we're making it look good.
Oh, well, they filled that.
He told me we can put 1,000 pounds of liquor on those shelves.
What a piece that is.
Like looks like we're gonna try it.
You're gonna try it out.
I love it. My dad is into everything too. So he doesn't do like barrels yet, everything, but
He made that piece for us, the new tasting bar over there, and it's gonna be the point of sales.
that's great. That's great.
Jonathan, do we need to do the middle two bands?
Well, I mean, I can.
Probably.
Because I know I did alternative on these, so you want to do these too?
We can do that.
That's it.
Oh, putting the screws in.
Yeah, otherwise they'll eventually lose their rim.
Oh.
They're easier to put in now.
That is true.
Now, since I did every other band on these, you'll just do like 3 or 4 on the middle bands.
I would say, you know, I wish he would have said this. So now they can say, we never got into this, but that's all right.
Well, there's that, you know, there's that kind of stuff. But yeah, we just, I don't know, I can't say hi.
I'm going to pass you guys over to Josh because my children are about to walk in the door.
And where were you?
We did a
took them inside.
We traveled with distilleries, but our final was probably Earl.
Okay, that's a lot of fun down there.
So you're part of the family too?
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
But, no, I'm just adopted.
Oh, just adopted?
That's right.
The chances of a redhead.
Yeah, it didn't hurt my chances of getting hired here, so that's for sure. But no, I just got to be friendly with these guys. My wife and I used to live down in Austin. And
a few years back, it was kind of interesting.
With all the distilleries down there, we kind of got into the scene and we're involved with the Crowd of Barrel folks and everybody down there. And got to meet Robert and Jonathan and Marcia and got friendly with them. Started helping out at events and things like that. And one thing led to another, and here I am. We actually moved up here just late last year.
It's always interesting to see how things originated and how people get to where they are.
That's right.
So it's always the stories behind the scene that are interesting.
Yeah. I like to think I was more of a right place at the right time situation. So I'll take that. That's okay.
Well, that's how we got here. We weren't planning, we did a distillery trip, but we weren't planning on this route this morning. And then we decided at the last minute to take this route. And then on the way, she found the address and it's like, they're on our way. Yeah. So that's why we stopped.
Awesome.
So.
And you stopped at just the right time.
Oh yeah. She said we were the first ones to use the bar.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So you guys have a podcast, YouTube, or something like that?
Yeah, we're photographers. Okay. We love bourbon. We love the history. So we took so many pictures of our distillery tours and trips.
Yeah.
And so we made a website. And then all of our friends, because they wanted to see what our stuff was, and then we started videoing it. And then our neighbors had a motorcycle YouTube channel, and they said, "Well, you need to do this for your bourbon." So then we started putting it on YouTube. So we just started that last year, middle of last summer. So that's kind of where this comes in at.
Yeah.
Bad.
I haven't already tried this one, so.
Yeah, this was the first one we tried, and I really like it. So
you went for the special stuff first.
Oh, is that what she tried us on first?
She's not dumb. Well, I think he had a customer pick something up, and he wanted to try that. So he's like, "Why don't you just try this?" Because that's one he wanted.
That's the newest one he did. The last apotheosis was in a Pinot de Charente finish, and that won best finished bourbon in the world again by World Whiskey.
That's impressive.
So we keep trying to go up the ladder here. So
What happens? Proud Papa, I'm sure then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, what are we gonna try next?
Okay, so you guys have had the Apotheosis and you tried the Harbinger XC.
Yeah.
All right. Since you tried the Harbinger XC, I think I'm going to bump you up to the Promethean now.
Okay.
So the Promethean's going to be a little bit of a different blend versus the Harbinger. A little bit darker, rich fruits, tobacco.
Thank you for the advice on the truck. Thank you.
Just be
Nice
careful
meeting
going
you.
through the small cities because there'll be a cop on each end.
they
just looking
they got to have their tax revenue somehow,
they're
right?
just looking for out-of-state cars.
And we have a red car.
Yeah.
So that's good advice. Thank you.
How can I help you? Do anything here?
I'm not going to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's driving.
Well, one won't hurt, right?
Actually, I was going to say at least you poured it, so just go ahead.
Yeah.
So
that smells good.
Where the Harbinger has a lot of Bloody Butcher and purple corn mash bills, in that blend, this guy's going to have more of a red flint corn and rye. So that brings those kind of darker, spicier tones, dark dried fruits, tobacco, that kind of thing. Chocolate covered cherries.
Oh, okay. Yes, and yes, those two you just said, tobacco and chocolate covered cherries.
There's a big difference between this and this. From what it, this one.
They're kind of, Jonathan describes them as being inverse blends or opposite blends.
Okay,
kind of a lighter side, darker side, yin-yang kind of thing. So, great on its own, and then if you're ever doing any classic whiskey cocktails, Manhattan Old Fashioned.
That's really good.
This goes with it.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So I make Creole.
And I like high proof too, so.
Everything from scratch.
So far,
Look at that, oh my gosh.
I'm just pulling them out so I know which one I can remember that I like.
And you guys had this.
Yep. That one.
So the 115 proof, of course, is 2020 Whiskey Magazine named it best world's best bourbon. So it's going to be similar to that XC version you have, but bigger, bolder, richer, more intense flavors and higher proof. So.
Not that one of red French bread, but real New Orleans French bread, New Orleans bakery. Now, you in New Orleans itself, or you? We're an hour and 30 minutes north of New Orleans.
He's trying.
I'm getting them.
Oh, like, what are you doing? You're gonna sneeze into? I thought you were gonna sneeze into his
I
whiskey.
can't smell anything.
It's an hour and 30 from New Orleans.
Yeah.
55 minutes.
Butter.
You smell it at least.
4 hours.
Yeah, it's not strong. I mean, but it's kind of hard to not smell something out of a Glencairn. But it is what it is. When you're trying to do a tasting. But
that's got a nice oily, buttery mouthfeel.
Yeah,
exactly. Some kind of maple and
what was the proof on that?
Pancake 115.
That does not hit me like 150.
That guy was 100.
Okay, so I was going up. To
Yep.
But it's going to read that's a little spicier in flavor, not so much in heat, right? But this guy is rich, smooth, oily, kind of lingers, and that kind of softens the proof.
I shouldn't leave this tasting all to him because he'll go, I'll just take a round of all of them. No, yeah. That's funny.
I like it. Yeah.
That's
so
good.
The aftertaste, the finish is still hitting me. But you're right. There is the spice.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal.
That peppery spice.
So on this side, on the Iron Root side of things, the only thing left, I think, is the brandy. I don't know if you guys are. I know you're whiskey people, but if you're familiar with brandy at all, or brandy fans.
Yep. One of our distilleries, French Lick.
Yep. Spirits of French Lick.
Alan Bishop. Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody loves him. Brandy, so we really like his stuff.
Yeah. Alan's cool.
We like him. He's
quirky, historical guy, and
I'll write it too, but
he's funny. So the sleight of hand brandy is something that we did for Denison's 150th anniversary because we're actually sister cities with Cognac in France. There's a whole history behind that there, and that's actually the reason why behind the name of Iron Root. I'm sure you may have heard this.
Yeah, we asked him. Jonathan told us all about that.
Okay.
He told us that.
So this guy is, we imported a 10-year-old cognac and blended that with an 8.5-year-old Chenin Blanc brandy that Jonathan distilled early on in the distillery, and rested that in a 40-year-old cognac cask to marry together.
Nice.
So that's what you have here. We called this guy the Sister Cities blend, since it was
both. That's neat.
France and Texas.
These are large.
We now call that Le Texas. Enjoy it a little bit.
There is a Paris, Texas. So.
there's Paris, Indiana too. Actually, there's a new Paris, Indiana, but we have a Mexico.
Ooh, that's sweet. And I picked up a little bit of a scotchy pea note in that.
Okay.
Just off that little bit. Yeah. Yeah. But sweet.
I can get the barley, the malt.
Yeah.
But that's
what you're picking up. That's what you're. Yeah.
But I do definitely taste the sweet.
Citrusy and gives a floral.
Yep. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, there is the flavors.
But again, we don't really drink a whole lot of brandy.
Yeah. Hey, what's the proof on that? Because that seems...
So this guy is a little bit closer. Like a lot of brandy is done at 40%.
Okay.
It's a little higher than that at 49.3. So it's a little bit kind of traditional to have brandy at a lower proof a lot of times.
Because that's stinger.
Yeah.
Almost like...
Very cool.
Yeah, brandy sometimes can have that sort of effervescent sort of quality in the palate. Yeah, a little brighter.
But you're definitely more on this range.
Yeah, it's kind of a...
Look at you.
Dry.
You're like...
I don't know. I'm getting the tannins, so my mouth is getting dry.
Oh. Could be the Chenin Blanc on that? Is that what you said?
Absolutely.
But that's not you.
Kind of a tart.
Yeah.
Brightness,
Yeah. That's definitely not you on that.
Now, did you guys try? You haven't tried anything from this side?
No.
Okay.
Now these are the finish.
Yeah, so Saints Alley is a line that we do with our friend Chris Trevino, who's a YouTube liquor hound.
Okay, neat.
So he's part of the blending and on this side of things.
Cool.
So it's a blend of our bourbon, or in this case on the end it's a rye whiskey, blend of ours and then MGP whiskey that we brought in. So you get some of that really classic, familiar column still high rye bourbon, and blended with that rich pot still like you taste on the Iron Root side of things, right? And then each one of these has its own distinct cask finish. So we have a port and cognac cask finish. This guy's finished in Armagnac casks. This one in rum barrels. And then we have some kind of special edition stuff, a Armagnac and Pinot de Charente finish, a white port and cognac, and then the Nobleman rye whiskey is kind of the outlier here. That's really kind of unique, finished in Tokai casks.
Yeah, that's where we were from Hungary.
Exactly. Yeah. So that one's really kind of special.
So maybe just like pick one before we get back on the road. I do need you to drive later.
Do you like rye whiskey?
We're getting into it. Yeah.
Into rye.
We like Sagamore rye. So there you go.
If you want to try the rye, people are loving the Nobleman. It's unique. It's not very... I don't find it to be very herbal like you can on some ryes.
I'll try it.
Try that one.
Good. It's actually got a lot of kind of cool savory notes to it. Some orange oil.
Is it going to rain out there? Is this overcast?
It's been raining. It's been raining here like crazy for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
That's good though. I guess you need it, right? Yeah. We've had nothing but rain all April in Indiana. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Trying to mull in between that.
Yeah, that's a different rye,
isn't it? Really unique.
And that has the Tokai.
The Tokai cask.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the Tokai, the reason why we call it the Nobleman is when they're growing the grapes for the Tokai dessert wine, they let them intentionally get affected by something called noble rot. That shrivels the grapes on the vine and then concentrates the sugars. So they can
almost like an ice wine.
Exactly. Yeah. Very similar to that.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
interesting.
That noble rot, hence we call it the Nobleman.
That's
in
cool.
keeping with the sort of medieval theme here.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's very cool.
Isn't that tasty?
Are you a Dungeons and Dragons kind of guy?
What's that?
Are you a Dungeons and Dragons kind of guy?
I'm not.
You're not. I know.
Never done.
I never did that either. It seems kind of